Hey, so you guys know Pundus, right? You know, recent ship artist for Star Trek Online. He works under Decca. He also animated the intro and outro to my videos. Well, it's his birthday today, and he got the green light to show us something that's rather interesting. So he posted this thread, talking about how it's his birthday, and if you scroll down here, he talked about how he got the green light to show us these, which are apparently revamps for the Aurora and Quasar class, which are variants of the Nova class. You can see over here, this is the Aurora. This is going to be a TMP version of the Aurora, and that looks freaking cool. I really like the departure from like typical TMP era design by going with a much more like arrowhead shape saucer section, which is very not something you see at all with the TMP era, but it works. I like this. This is really looking cool. And then here is the Quasar, and this one is modeled after the more Star Trek Picard design language, so like the very early 25th century, something like you would see on the Constitution 3 and the Stargazer. Going further into the thread, he shows off some more in-depth shots and gives some more information on the two models. The Aurora was designed and modeled by E.C. Henry, which there's a name we've seen many times in Star Trek Online. He has done many things. He's done several ships for Star Trek Online, so, this is yet another one, and I'm not surprised that it looks absolutely gorgeous, because it is. Triangular shaped hull, little more oval shape in the deflector array. So it's a kind of, the rest of it looks the rest of the Star Trek looks very, Constitution refit-esque, but they kind of made it wider, which, kind of fits with the rest of the Nova's aesthetic. The warp nacelles, Pundus makes note in a later down further into the thread that these are a modified version of the nacelles used on the Columbia, which was the TMP era skin that they used for the legendary NX. Also, I noticed this little detail I really want to get a closer look at. Look at little TMP Wave Rider. That's so cool. I desperately want to know what the rest of it looks like. And for such a small ship, this thing sure has a lot of shuttle bays, because it's got the main one down here at the back, but then it's got two more at the back of the saucer. So that's a lot of shuttle bays for something as small as a Nova class. Though maybe it needs lots of bays because each one is probably really small, because again, not a big ship. Moving on to the comparison shot between the two, you can see there's a vast difference between the original Aurora and the revamped TMP era version, which is not surprising. These are two very different design languages, because the updated version is meant to fit into a certain era of Star Trek, in this case being the TMP movie era, whereas the original Quasar was seemingly designed with no thought as to where it fits into the timeline. They weren't really, because the Quasar is one of those ships that was designed, for Star Trek Online's original launch. This is, very, very old ship, and they weren't thinking along those lines back in the day. So this is, it's a very, very dated ship, and I've never really liked it just because it never really seemed to fit anywhere into Star Trek, and I always felt it was kind of an awkward design, and honestly both variant, but both the Aurora and the Quasar were, and it's nice to see that they're being revamped to something that fits better within the timeline. Another comparison shot here. We get the I feel like I don't really need to say that much, because the difference between the two is so striking. It's like night and day, and God, I'm sure there's going to be like one or two people who liked this. I know there were some that were amused by the pylons on this ship. I don't know why, but I'm sure there were. But this is better. This is so much better. I love this. This new updated Aurora. This is absolutely fantastic, and I am absolutely a fan. And then it wraps with one more shot here. Let me move the camera over to this side so you can get a better shot of that. Yeah, just a little close up of the Aurora. It's a cool looking ship. I like it. Now, while this model was made by E.C. Henry, Pundus does go on to state that he did some of the refining and adding some additional details to the ship for the game, and it was the first ship model that he brought to life in the game's engine. So this is, I guess, Pundus's inaugural ship in just, I don't know how to put this, but yeah, Panda's first ship, Panda Man's first ship. I'm sorry, I've been at a family thing all day. I'm very tired. Moving on to the Quasar, and all right, here, let me get me out of the way again. There we go, that's a little better. But yeah, this is the Quasar. This is the one that's gonna be modeled more after the design language of Star Trek Picard. So this is also a really interesting design. I'm not quite as big of a fan of this one as I am of the Aurora. According to Pundus, this one was designed by ex-dev partners Virtuous, who have done some other designs in the past. None come to mind right away, but like I said, I'm tired. Leave me alone. But yeah, this is gonna have a lot of features that you would expect to see on like the Constitution 3 or the Stargazer or Sagan class. And here's the side-by-side comparison. Honestly, this one is a little more authentic to the original version, in my opinion. It's a little flatter in some spots, but it does keep like the really high nacelles, which honestly I'm not that huge of a fan of. I kind of wish they'd lower those a bit. But honestly, it's not like it's kind of a neat look too. So I don't hate it. Obviously, like it's certainly better than the original version. But yeah, these are really cool things. Like I really enjoy seeing Star Trek Online going back to revamp their old designs, you know, especially the super dated ones like these that just have no place in like the design language anywhere within Star Trek's history, either, you know, in the present contemporary timeline for Star Trek Online or anywhere in Star Trek's past. So it's really nice to see them go back and like go out of the way to adapt these older models into something that would actually fit into Star Trek's history. That's such I love that line of thinking, making various different era versions of these, you know, canon ships and just making, you know, different era versions of them. It's I love it so much, and I love it when Star Trek Online gets the chance to do that. Yeah, moving on here. So that's another side by side. They really changed up the deflector on this one. So it's a much different design than what we've seen in the past, but again, not, you know, certainly not a bad thing. Honestly, I really like it because I really love it when Star Trek Online gets very experimental with the look of deflector dishes, because yeah, it's something that is like a very core part to most ship designs within Star Trek, and it's neat to see how they can like differentiate between one another. You know, makes you think like, why is this one different from another one? Why is, you know, what sort of purpose does it take? So what, you know, especially considering that we already know that the Nova class is a science vessel, and obviously these two would likely be too. So is this one different for that purpose, or, you know, is it something else? Who knows? But, you know, it gets the creative juices flowing a bit. And of course, another close-up of the Quasar. This case, if you look here, it does have a windowed bridge, much like you would expect on other ships from Star Trek Picard. I know it's not in this post, but I know later on, Pundus does confirm that this is basically, it's the same bridge, little bridge model that they used on the Sagan class. I think they just kind of scaled it down a little bit to fit inside the Quasar, but yeah, it's the same one. That one was modeled by Mauricio Tejerina, who I'm still not entirely sure I am pronouncing his name correctly. Oh yeah, it was literally the following post. The bridge model was done by Mauricio Tejerina. Also includes some more close-up shots of the new models. So yeah, some more of the Aurora. It's the Quasar. So yeah, another good shot of that underside, so you can get a look at how different this deflector dish is. Then another backside of the Aurora. I love this angle. This is like absolutely gorgeous. I love this. Then there's the Quasar. Honestly, those super high nacelles do make it look a little goofy from this angle, in my opinion. Kind of why I like the TMP version better. But I mean, this is still a really cool one. Honestly, you can probably kit bash it too, so it'll probably, like, you can probably take these and put them on this one, or even take just the original Nova pylons and put them on there. It might look will probably look good too. And Pundus included some quick video, you know, the typical, you know, reveal videos that Star Trek Online typically puts out whenever there's a new ship. I'm not going to show those off because they include music, and I don't want to get copyright struck. So yeah, I will link this whole thread down in the description below so you can get a better look at all these pictures yourself. And while you're there, be sure to wish Pundus a happy birthday, because he works very hard and he deserves it. Anyway, we don't have an exact date on when these will be arriving into Star Trek Online. All we got is soon, but the fact that we're already seeing images of them, I mean, well, like I said, it'll be soon. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if these end up going live the same day as part 4 of the event campaign, which was the 25th, I believe. And yeah, that is about it. We're getting revamps of 2 very old ship models, which are the 2 variants of the Nova class, and now we are getting updated versions of them that fit very well into 2 very different design languages from Star Trek's past, so the TMP era and the more recent past of Star Trek Picard. But yeah, be sure to comment down below which one you like more. Are you like me and you like the Aurora more, or are you more into the Quasar? Comment that down below, and while you're down there, be sure to like and subscribe and hit this bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, you can hit the join button down below to become a member, or you can check out the merch store, or if you're ever shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. It really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.